U.S. Marshals are currently mobilizing across the nation. Judge Elellanar Caldwell has reportedly authorized arrest warrants for several individuals following the highly discussed leak of what's being referred to as the Witness 14 recording. For the first time in this case, a federal judge has allegedly permitted immediate custody orders based on testimony that was never intended for public release. Sources familiar with the courthouse describe scenes of confusion, attorneys rushing, phones temporarily seized, and marshals stationed at every possible exit. This is not a routine procedural filing. This is not another stalling tactic. This is a sitting federal judge essentially declaring that the content of this tape constitutes preliminary evidence of serious federal offenses and is demanding individuals be taken into custody before nightfall. So what prompted this unprecedented judicial move? 47 minutes of recorded testimony from a protected source identified only as Witness 14 reportedly leaked online late Thursday evening. Within mere hours, the recording was reportedly downloaded over 2 million times before online platforms scrambled to remove it. This is far more than just another scandal in an already controversial case. According to legal observers, this tape allegedly contains what analysts are calling the smoking gun, direct evidence of coordinated criminal activity, naming individuals, citing dates, and detailing alleged unlawful transactions in precise terms. And I have the breakdown of exactly what the recording appears to show. Let's explore what some sources say was deliberately kept hidden. What sets this apart from every other leak in modern legal proceedings is Judge Caldwell's immediate reaction. She reportedly did not initiate an investigation or schedule a routine hearing. Within approximately 6 hours of confirming the recording's authenticity, she issued arrest warrants, a step that former federal prosecutors suggest is almost unheard of in contemporary jurisprudence. The individuals reportedly named on those warrants include figures no one expected to be facing detention. The marshals deployed are federal officers acting directly on orders from a judge who has reportedly seen enough. So, here's what the Witness 14 recording allegedly reveals. Verified transcripts now circulating among legal analysts and journalists reportedly capture a protected witness outlining a systematic effort to obstruct justice, manipulate evidence, and intimidate other witnesses. This is the heart of the matter. The witness, whose identity remains sealed, allegedly describes being instructed to destroy documents, alter electronic records, and coordinate false testimonies with at least 4 other parties. The recording reportedly mentions specific dates, March 14th, April 2nd, and May 19th of this year. It names 3 previously unidentified associates and reportedly details cash payments totaling over $340,000 allegedly intended to silence potential witnesses. Analysts reviewing authenticated excerpts have described the specificity as remarkable. According to the witness, quote, "I was told exactly what to say. They gave me a script. When I asked what would happen if I didn't comply, they made it very clear my family would face consequences." Observers stress that this was not standard witness preparation. Rather, it is being interpreted as witness intimidation on a scale prosecutors suggest could qualify as racketeering. And there's more. The recording reportedly captures Witness 14 describing a meeting where evidence destruction was allegedly discussed in explicit detail. Sources indicate the witness recounts shredding documents, deposing hard drives, and systematically erasing cloud backups, all while the investigation was ongoing and subpoenas had already been issued. Former federal prosecutor Marcus Webb reportedly told the Daily Beast that this recording represents one of the clearest examples of documented obstruction he's encountered in 3 decades. The level of detail is what makes it so compelling. The witness allegedly provides badge numbers of those involved, detailed descriptions of locations where illicit meetings took place, direct quotations of conversations, banking information related to payments, and names of attorneys who allegedly facilitated the operations. And it gets worse. The final portion of the tape allegedly contains Witness 14 describing threats made toward their children. The witness reportedly states that photos of their kids' school were sent to their phone along with a message saying testimony has consequences. Professor Danielle Reeves of Georgetown Law emphasized that such threats significantly escalate the seriousness of charges. Threatening a witness is obstruction. Threatening their children is an especially severe form of witness intimidation, potentially carrying enhanced federal penalties. The tape runs a total of 47 minutes. Legal experts note that roughly 31 minutes consist of potentially incriminating testimony, with the remainder involving procedural questions from the interviewing attorney. The recording quality is reportedly very clear, with no noticeable edits or gaps. Multiple authentication specialists have confirmed that the recording appears genuine. Vocal analysis reportedly matches verified past recordings of the witness, and metadata supports the dates claimed. Sources close to the investigation confirm Judge Caldwell personally reviewed the full recording. Reports indicate she watched it twice, pausing only to consult with her clerks regarding applicable statutes. Transcript excerpts that have leaked are damning, but those who have reportedly heard the audio describe something even more striking: the witness's voice, the fear, exhaustion, and resignation of someone aware of the risks. A journalist with access to the recording described it as 47 minutes that could redefine the entire case and potentially influence broader interpretations of American justice. Hit that subscribe button now, because developments are happening in real time. Arrests are reportedly taking place as we speak, and you won't want to miss updates. Now, you've heard what the recording appears to contain, but here's the context behind it, which makes the revelation even more impactful. This case has been unfolding for over 2 years. What began as a routine financial inquiry gradually escalated into what prosecutors describe as a complex network of alleged fraud, corruption, and systematic obstruction spanning multiple jurisdictions. Tensions reportedly escalated over months, fueled by repeated delays, sealed motions, and the unexplained withdrawal of 3 previous witnesses citing memory issues under oath. Observers had grown frustrated with what seemed to be a case slowly strangled by procedural hurdles. Everything changed on October 3rd when Witness 14 entered protective custody. According to court documents, Witness 14 was initially cooperating with the defense before dramatically switching sides. Prosecutors reportedly moved them into witness protection within 48 hours, citing credible threats. For months, Witness 14's testimony remained sealed. Defense attorneys filed 17 motions seeking access to the recordings. Judge Caldwell reportedly denied all 17, citing security and protection concerns. This was about preserving life, not legal strategy. On November 8th, the defense filed an emergency motion claiming prosecutorial misconduct, alleging coercion. Judge Caldwell scheduled an evidentiary hearing for December 2nd, which never occurred. On November 29th, the recording leaked. Anonymous accounts began circulating fragments on encrypted platforms, and within hours, the full 47 minutes appeared online. By midnight, containment was reportedly impossible. Judge Caldwell convened an emergency session at 6 a.m. the following morning. Courthouse sources described her as visibly upset, not at the content, but at the unauthorized release itself. The leak alone is a federal offense. The content allegedly documents crimes of far greater gravity. By noon, she had issued the arrest warrants. What makes this case distinct isn't just the alleged crimes, it's the evidence itself. Typically, obstruction cases rely on circumstantial proof, conflicting testimony, and forensic reconstruction. This recording reportedly offers something rare: a witness describing events in real time with extreme specificity. Smash that like button if this is connecting the dots for you. The case is complex, but the evidence, according to sources, is clear. Drop a like if you're following along. Every click helps this coverage reach those who need it. The decisive moment came at 11:47 a.m. when Judge Caldwell took the bench for her emergency session. Attorneys were summoned with under 4 hours' notice. Some arrived hurriedly, still adjusting jackets. Others hadn't slept. The gallery was reportedly sealed. No press, no public, only essential staff. Courthouse reporters described a tense silence. Marshals reportedly took positions at every entrance. Deputies usually assigned to parking were reassigned indoors. When Judge Caldwell spoke, witnesses claim her voice carried unprecedented authority. "I have served on the federal bench for 22 years, she reportedly began. "I have never encountered witness intimidation, this explicit, organized, or contemptuous of the court's authority." The courtroom reportedly went silent. Defense attorneys exchanged glances. She then read the names on 4 arrest warrants. After finishing, she reportedly looked at the defense table, stating that anyone aware of these activities and failing to report them should consider their legal exposure. 2 attorneys requested to withdraw immediately. Judge Caldwell denied both motions. It became clear that this was not merely another case crumbling. It was a federal judge asserting the system's authority against obstruction with full U.S. Marshals support. Stay tuned. The next developments could redefine how we understand this case. Drop a comment below. Did you anticipate this, or were you following before the leak? This is not the first time a leaked recording has disrupted a legal strategy, but the speed of judicial response is exceptional. Consider historical parallels. Watergate's Nixon tapes revealed presidential obstruction, but that unfolded over years with multiple legal battles. The Access Hollywood tape exposed misconduct in 2016, but involved no active judicial case. Here, Judge Caldwell reportedly moved from verification to warrants in 6 hours. Legal scholars compare this to the 1973 Saturday Night Massacre, where Nixon's obstruction led to resignations and ultimately his downfall. The parallels aren't exact, but the principle is consistent. Obstruction can become the central, most dangerous offense. The pattern shows that recordings capturing criminal conduct often make cover-ups more legally perilous than the original acts. Now, however, we see a new model, a federal judge treating obstruction not as a secondary charge, but as an immediate emergency. Judge Caldwell has suggested that the integrity of the court cannot wait for routine procedures. This is unprecedented and may influence how courts handle tampering and intimidation for decades. Legal experts are calling this a landmark moment. Former U.S. Attorney Pitt Barrara of NYU Law told MSNBC that this is exactly what courts should do when faced with clear obstruction: act decisively to preserve proceedings. He emphasized that speed was necessary, not reckless. Every hour's delay allows further damage. Constitutional law professor Lawrence Tribe explained that issuing warrants based on leaked evidence is complex legally, but the judge's actions are defensible. The source doesn't alter the illegality of the conduct. Anonymous former federal defenders cautioned that the defense will argue the tape's illegality, but the warrants are reportedly based on ongoing criminal conduct requiring immediate action. Rachel Barkow, criminal justice expert at NYU Law, noted that threats to witnesses' families heighten severity, likened to domestic terrorism. Federal sentencing guidelines may increase penalties. Former DOJ official Harry Litman noted these aren't normal circumstances. A protected witness, threats, destroyed evidence. The judge reportedly acted swiftly because waiting could collapse the case. Caldwell's reputation for meticulous precision underscores the significance of her fast action. The consensus among legal observers is that the evidence warranted immediate response, and the judge delivered. Smash that like button to amplify coverage. One click means more people see the story. What does this mean going forward? Immediate exposure for those named is immense. Federal obstruction charges can carry 20 years each. Witness tampering adds more, and threatening family members compounds charges under federal law. Coordination among multiple defendants could escalate penalties further. Each defendant faces impossible choices: contest charges and risk exposure, or cooperate and implicate others. Professional consequences extend beyond prison. At least 2 attorneys have sought withdrawal. More may follow. Those aware of obstruction could face disbarment or criminal liability. References to legal counsel allegedly facilitating witness coordination raise further exposure. 3 state bar associations have launched preliminary investigations. ABA is monitoring closely. Long-term judicial procedure may shift. Courts might now intervene immediately when obstruction threatens proceedings. Traditionally, obstruction cases move slowly with methodical investigations. Caldwell's actions suggest some circumstances demand immediate intervention. This affects the rule of law. Critics argue that powerful actors can obstruct with impunity. The judge's swift response demonstrates a new model: aggressive, immediate intervention when obstruction threatens justice. The message, "Obstruct at your own peril." Weeks ahead will show if this becomes precedent. The defense compounded issues. Attorneys for one defendant called the judge's actions grotesque and politically motivated, focusing solely on the leak, ignoring the content of alleged obstruction or intimidation. Professor Kathleen Hall Jamieson noted that attacking the messenger while ignoring the message admits the underlying claims are credible. Other defendants have stayed silent. No one has denied the meetings, payments, or photos of children. Public focus on the leak already concedes the argument. This extends beyond immediate legal fallout. It's about systemic integrity. Witness 14 trusted the system. The leak betrayed that trust but revealed obstruction, tampering, and threats. Judge Caldwell's response demonstrates the system can act. Subscribe for continued coverage. Arrests are ongoing, hearings scheduled. Coverage will continue until the case reaches climax. Current status: 2 of 4 individuals reportedly in custody. A third apprehended near a private airfield with cash and luggage. The fourth remains at large. Marshals have issued alerts of potential flight. Federal agents coordinate internationally. Judge Caldwell reportedly scheduled initial appearances for the following morning at 9 a.m. Arraignments and bail hearings will occur. Prosecutors expected to request detention without bail due to threats and flight risk. Witness 14 has been relocated, security doubled, outside communications suspended. The recording remains widely accessible online despite removal attempts. Jurors nationwide may have seen it. Defense will likely argue venue changes. Next 48 hours expected to be decisive. The system is finally acting. Stakes are unprecedented. Evidence is damning. Arrests are underway. What follows will determine if this represents a judicial turning point or another case lost to delays. This is not merely another scandal. It is the system being tested. So far, Judge Caldwell is reportedly passing the test. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Coverage will continue until the final verdict, with tomorrow's hearing likely pivotal. Stay tuned.